Wow! If I could do that just from, wow.
Gee, for a second I was impressed. Well, what do you say we all go across the street and have ourselves one slobber knocker of a wake for the late, if less than great, Jessica Cranshaw? Drinks are on me.
Just a minute. I'm sorry, but this theater is quarantined. All the exits are guarded and none of you can leave. No, I'm sorry, but the entire company and crew will be living right here in the theater until further notice. Emergency services will bring in cots and meals.
Wait a second. The talented members of this cast are entitled to a day off.
The talented members and even you, Elaine.
Listen. Tell me if I'm wrong here, but to the best of my recollection, Jessica Cranshaw never left the stage during the show's last 10 minutes. If so, then I'm very sorry, but she had to have been murdered by one of you. I've never had a case with this many suspects, and I can't have each of you followed around the clock. Better I keep you all under lock and key until I solve this crime.
You're taking the law into your own hands, Chiaffi.
Well, that's sort of what I'm paid to do. I mean, that's why I have a badge and my own gun. Anyway, being sequestered here will help you on fixing the show.
Fixing?
Keep your hands off me, you hear?
Who's that?
Sounds like my husband on his best behavior.
I guess he left New York.
Lucky New York.
Well, isn't this just peachy keen? You all waited up for me.
Hi, Mr. Bernstein.
Morning, Mr. Bernstein.
Johnny, I'm still wearing my coat.
Sorry, Mr. Bernstein.
Sydney, it's been an awful night.
I hear you, Chris.
And I'm turning in my resignation.
I can't hear you, Chris. How you holding up, Oscar?
Oh, can't complain.
That's right. You can't.
Welcome back to Boston, Sydney.
Well, hello.
It's me, Sydney, your stepdaughter.
Oh, sorry about that, Fawn.
It's Bambi.
And last of the least, Mrs. B, my junior partner, and lesser half.
All right, let's get this over with, Sydney.
What? You expect me to be upset? I left you in charge of opening night and returned to find a murdered leading lady, deadly reviews, and a bunch of cops who tell me that I can't leave this theater.
I'm afraid you've arrived at just the wrong time for you and just the right time for me, Mr. Bernstein.
Excuse me?
Lieutenant Frank Chaffee. Now listen, folks. You should all go about your various tasks just as if this weren't the scene of a homicide. Detective McNichol is waiting downstairs for your pertinent information. I'd ask each of you to give him your name, address, and 8x10 glossy. And I'll be speaking with all of you in the morning. Pleasant dreams, everyone.
Lieutenant, I can't be a suspect. I was in Manhattan when Jessica got murdered.
Can you prove that?
It so happens I was keeping company with a young actress on Sutton Place. If I give you her name, it could ruin her reputation.
Your chivalry is touchingly convenient.
Lieutenant, I have many influential friends in New York City.
Too bad you're in Boston.
And will you be needing me any further, Lieutenant?
No, but I do have some questions for your boyfriend.
I don't have a boyfriend.
Oh, gosh. Actually, Miss Harris, I'd like to take you into my confidence regarding this investigation.
Why is that, Lieutenant?
Well, because if I don't, there's really no reason for us to keep talking.
Then take me into your confidence with confidence, Lieutenant.
Something's very wrong here. I just met an opening night cast who all seemed incredibly eager to close.
Well, I can understand how they might be feeling. They all gave up wonderful jobs and hit Broadway musicals to work up here in Boston. I've never performed outside of this city. And Bambi has to fight her mother at every step just to be in the chorus. But the rest of the cast is underpaid and overworked, though surely not enough to drive any of them to murder.
Keep in mind, I'm within arm's reach at any hour of the night or day.
Do you think I'm in some danger?
No, that was a completely unrelated thought.
You live with danger on a daily basis, don't you, Lieutenant?
Oh, most of the time it's just paperwork and procedure. Detectives have no opening night, Miss Harris. We make our entrance after the curtain has fallen on someone else's life.
But it's a calling, isn't it? Like a doctor or a teacher?
Or an actor.
I suppose you're right. I can't imagine doing anything else with my life. it's not wrong to be married to one's work, is it?
No, not at all. But sometimes it's no honeymoon. I love my job. I really do. And if I say so myself, I'm good at it too. I catch the bad guys, well, most of the time. So it's a good life, a perfectly good life, not exactly sublime. When I've finished my work and I crawl into bed, I reflect as I turn out the lights that the day that's to come and the week that's ahead will be lunch counter mornings and coffee shop nights. Lunch counter mornings and coffee shop nights.
Well, it's reassuring to have such a dependable schedule, like matinees every Wednesday,
Or brisket and broad beans each Thursday.
with your friends.
I like my pals. The guys on the force. We're not very social. They're all married, of course. Sometimes we go bowling or have a few beers. So it's a fine life, a perfectly fine life. I'd give it 2 cheers. 'Cause sometimes I think at the end of the day, when I've read The Last Burglar His Rights, that the life that I lead, that's a little bit gray, with its lunch counter mornings and coffee shop nights. Lunch counter mornings and coffee shop nights.
But your acting roles, don't they make for a change?
Oh, Miss Harris, each year from May 23rd to the 12th of June, when I turn my life over to the Swallow Street Players, that's more than a vacation for me. It's an overture of hope, the curtain rising on the greatest joy of my life. But the rest of the year, the life that I lead, that's a little bit gray. There are plenty of low days and not many heights. Mostly lunch counter mornings and coffee shop nights. I don't mean to seem forward, but why did I walk you home?
Oh, I'd be delighted, but you said we're not allowed to leave.
Darn it!
And while you chat away, your eyes will bat away. Feet
on
off
the
the
turns.
ground, your heart will pound. Feet off the ground, sorry heart will.
You're all being very patient, but I can't do this.
Honey, I've seen you do this.
In a previous
Would
life,
somebody like me to try?
I promise. They'll adore you almost as much as I do.
I can go from a garage jeté right into the splits.
And you're looking just great.
Impossible, I know, but somehow I do it.
If one of you is the killer, would you please take her next?
Folks, Detective O'Farrell is here with the last delivery of clothes from your hotel rooms. Claim your bundle downstairs. Oh, and in 1/2 hour, Lieutenant Chiaffi will begin questioning altos and tenors.
Ah, Herr Lieutenant, rising from your interrogation chamber to grace us with your presence.
I'd stretch my legs. I've been stuck in the green room all day.
At least you got to sleep in your own beds last night.
Sorry about that.
I intrigue you, don't I, Lieutenant?
Yes, Mr. Belling, as both a director and a suspect.
Lieutenant, I got what you wanted.
Oh, thank you. And, did you pick out the clothes for Nikki Harris that I asked for?
Nothing but blues and greens, just like you asked. You trying to set up some kind of trap for her?
No, I'm trying to match her eyes.
Release the Robin Hood drop and let's open the upstage curtain.
Excuse me, Lieutenant Frank Chaffee, homicide? Mind telling me who you are and how you got in here?
As a member of the press, I'm exempt from your quarantine, Lieutenant. Daryl Grady of the Boston Globe.
After the review you gave Robin Hood, I can't imagine why you show your face here, of all places.
I'm as mystified as you. The show's producers called me and asked me to pay a visit.
That's right. Carmen Bernstein, Mr. Grady. You have our thanks for coming by, if not for your review.
Listen, I tried my level best to say something good about your production. I praised the choreography. Oh, and that young woman who played the school mom, Nikki,
Harris.
Well, I'm afraid it's all history now. My condolences on the loss of your star and your show.
When you interviewed me last week, I told you we're going to Broadway no matter what you wrote about us.
We're keeping Robin Hood open. And once we've ironed out the kinks, we're asking you to review it again, with Georgia Hendricks in the lead.
Georgia Hendricks? Your lyricist? She's been in the show for years. That's some story. And yes, there is a precedent for reappraising a show with a new lead. All right, tell you what, I'll review your show. Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow?
It's the best I can do. And to be fair, keep in mind, not many shows can survive 2 bad reviews on the Globe in 1 week.
Carmen, go tell the cast that we've got 24 hours to hold a week of rehearsals. If we fail, you'll live to regret it.
Sydney, you always thought you were such a big shot. Well, you're not. You're just big.
Oh, good day, Lieutenant.
You've just made it one, Miss Harris.
That dress goes very nicely with your eyes, Nikki.
Thank you.
And I can't believe it, Mr. Daryl Grady. Am I allowed to offer my thanks for the kind words you wrote?
Please don't misunderstand, Miss Harris, but I try not to fraternize with the artist I review. But let me say, you did stand out what was otherwise an abundantly misguided production.
Mr. Grady, I thought your review of Robin Hood was needlessly cruel and way off the mark.
Well, I'm not sure you know how to judge acting, Lieutenant.
Of course, you're the expert. However, I regret to inform you that I'm now placing you under arrest for the crime of murder.
What? Have you lost your mind?
Any statement you make may be taken down in writing and used against you in a court of law.
This is insane. What are you saying?
I'm saying my best lines from Agatha Christie's Murder at the Vicarage. I played Chief Inspector Slack for the Nicktown Players 2 summers ago. Oh! Did you think I was saying that for real? Gosh! I'm not sure you know how to judge acting, Mr. Grady. You can go now.
Come on, Grady. I'll walk you to the door.
Swell acting, Lieutenant. And not just on a community theater level. I mean college.
Oh, well, thank you.
And how's your investigation coming along, if I may ask?
I've been going over the show's production budget, and you know, you're right. Everyone here is working for the same equity minimum. Not just newcomers like you and Bambi, but your stars as well. Look, this is no place to talk. Let's you and me get out of here for a little while.
You won't let me leave.
Darn it!
Lieutenant, you must clear the stage immediately. I've just been informed I have less time to reinvent this show than Moses had to cross the Red Sea, and he had God on his side.
Hey, is this true?
I'm getting reviewed tomorrow?
Nikki, go fetch Bambi. I have no choice but to reblock in the same boats here and now.
Oh, I'm going to have to watch this.
Why? You think something's going to happen?
No, I just really like this number. Although...
What?
Oh, it's nothing, but...
What?
My gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this, and shoot me with my own gun if I'm out of line.
What is it?
I don't think simply changing the choreography is going to help. The music itself is kind of lackluster. It lacks
Yes.
luster. 3 women on the Arkansas River in a rowboat that's sinking fast, trying to get to the federal courthouse in Wichita before the farmers lose their land. Great stuff. It's 11 o'clock number, but the song itself is kind of... I wonder, could we hear a bit of it?
Sasha? Ladies, sing for the lieutenant, would you? Here you go, Chiaffi, just for you.
In the same boats, on the same sea, shaking inside as the tide keeps rising. Nary a ship, nary a sail, nary a soul on the whole horizon. Still we are not discouraged.
True to the ancient quote that we're likely to win. Take it all on the chin when you're in the same boat.
You see what I'm saying? For such a big moment in the short, sort of mild-mannered.
Strangely enough, I agree. We need a completely new composition. One that's catchier than Pink Eye.
Oh, you want a hit?
Yes, and not some song from one of your failed shows either, Aaron. None of your Eine kleine trunk music.
Listen, Chris, if you expect me to come up with anything, you have to save me a little bit of private time on my piano and my writing partner.
Your writing partner is now my dancing partner and the star of this show. If she doesn't get the saloon number under her belt tonight, we're all finished.
And I need to see that very number in full dress regalia this instant. Johnny! Tell the cast to change for the Act 1 finale from the final bars in the bar at the Barbie Bar Saloon.
Say it again.
I can't say that again.
Mr. Belling's rehearsal takes priority. So anyone who needs to change costume, go ahead. The rest of you, please proceed to the green room where Detective O'Farrell will be fingerprinting the entire company. That is, unless one of you would be kind enough to explain where you committed the murder. So let's clear the stage and give our composer the solitude he needs. That should buy you a few minutes alone with your piano, Mr. Fox.
Alone? Yeah.
Must be quite a challenge having to create when your writing partner is...
Otherwise engaged?
Could I ask? Only because I've wondered this my entire life. Which would normally come first? The music or the lyric?
Same answer as the chicken or the egg.
Oh, so it's the lyric.
No. A great melody doesn't always need a lyric or a lyricist.
Then how do you start?
Well, you could start with the note, which can become a phrase. And you try hanging words off each branch, like trimming a tree.
Sounds easy enough.
Really? Well, don't talk about love. Well, you'll have to say, fits like a glove. Or as certain as, push comes to shove. When you pine for the woman you're constantly thinking of. You see the problem?
Dangling participle. So, you suggest staying away from love?
At all costs. And don't mention your life. Or you'll have to say, cuts like a knife. Or refer to the heartbreaking stripe. When you find that you're missing your...
Missing?
What?
You were saying what you miss.
No, I meant... I miss the music, I miss the songs. Since she's not with me, it comes out wrong. It doesn't matter how hard I try. I've lost the music, I don't know why. You may have known before I met her, I wrote alone. But if you ask me what I prefer, I'd say the music I wrote with her. When you're writing a song and you've a partner, the room is filled with jokes and chatter. She says something, you say something. She writes a line, you play a vamp. But when you're writing a song without a partner, it's a completely different matter. No one tells you that's not funny. No one says let's cut that bar. No one makes you better than you are. can't pretend. I miss the music, I miss my friend. No need to ask me what I prefer. I choose the music I wrote with her. I like the music I made with.
Aaron! Oh, sorry. Am I interrupting?
No, I'm afraid I'm the guilty party there. But thank you, Mr. Fox, for all the insights. Miss Hendricks, best of luck in the upcoming number. We'll speak later.
I forgot my lyric. Can you believe it?
You're not the lyricist now. You're the star. How does it feel to be back on the boards?
Terrifying? Thrilling? I've missed the stage.
Come on, Angel. We've got to do that away right away.
Must we?
It's our last chance to land the number before we pack it in for the night. Here we go, honey.
Oh, Aaron. I'm thinking you were right when you said I was wrong for this.
Georgia, break a leg.
Thanks. You can finish the song without me?
I'm a one-man band.
I miss the music, I miss my friend. No need to ask me what I prefer. I choose the music I wrote with her. I love the music I made with her.
Kiss me while you can, boys. I got my sights set on Rob Hood.
But Rob Hood just left these parts with Miss Nancy, the new schoolmarm.
Alan Odell. Ain't it funny how a cowardly lawman from back east knows so much about the man I plan to brand? I'm gonna round up that Rob Hood and hog-tie his fancy Miss Nancy. He made a getaway. He left me flat away. At times like this, a modern miss should gallop that away. When love goes this away, don't blow your bliss away. You might find out he's just about a hug and kiss away. No matter which way he takes that bitch away, I won't relent till he'll consent even Mandalay. I'll grab my horse and set my course to reach him that way. I've known a man or two, a score or more, it's true. And if he stays or if he strays depends on my lasso. It ain't just how you but how you proceed to pursue. If you move this way, and shake it that way, there's every chance he'll see you dance and holler out away. And if you flip away, rotate your hip away. Just wait and see, I guarantee your man won't slip away. If you're the mate for him, don't sit and wait for him. It's up to you, but if you do, you'll be too late for him. If there's a spat away, don't throw his hat away. Forget that fight and hold him tight till he gets that way.
What's that music? What's that dance? What's that stirring in my pants? Did you see that? Holy cow! What the hell do I do now?
If you move this way and shake it that way, there's every chance to see you dance and holler out away. Then if you flip away, rotate your hip away. Just wait and see, I guarantee. If you're the mate for him, don't sit and wait for him. It's up to you, but if you do, you'll be too late for him. If there's a spat away, don't throw his hat away. Forget that fight and hold him tight till he gets that way. Don't let love get away, fly away. Times like this I gallop this way, this way, this way. Love goes this way, flow this way. My grind out of forget this way. And while you chat away, your eyes will bat away. Feet off the ground, your heart will pound. Feet off the ground, your heart will pound. Don't chew the fat away. We have but that to say.
Let's run the race. Let's take some pace. Let's do the chase. Let's all go that way. Or maybe that way.
I'm heading that way.
That was fantastic.
Worth every
Georgia,
penny.
everybody.
With Georgia Knott's dynamic and uplifting, leaving the audience champing at the bit for Act 2. And this set. Who doesn't love red?
Very good. And as long as we're all in our positions, I want to fix our pose for the Act 1 curtain.
Sorry, but if I may, I've had a chance to speak to everyone, and you all seem to be a terrific bunch of people, but I'm afraid this briefcase contains some very compromising evidence I've turned up about one of you. Don't want to point any fingers, but I have some additional questions for the person here who...
Lieutenant, an urgent call from headquarters.
Shoot! Mr. Belling, just go on with what you were doing.
Yes. All right. So, as I was saying, I want to set our pose for the Act 1 curtain. So if you all just...
Lights! As I thought. As you were. Looks like everyone but Nikki has something to hide. There's nothing in the briefcase, by the way, except a container of chowder from the Union Oyster House.
Is it Manhattan?
Yeah, here you go. So, I've questioned all of you, made a few phone calls, and what do I come up with? A murder victim named Jessica Cranshaw, working for a fraction of her usual firm salary. A distinguished director who despised the late Miss Cranshaw, yet slaves to make this show work all the same. A dancer choreographer who turns down a chance to work with Balanchine to do a song and dance for spare change. Ex-partners in marriage and music who inexplicably reunite though they no longer work in harmony. A one-man bank named Oscar Shapiro, who despite having no prior interest in theater, suddenly sinks one payment after another into this musical. A company who celebrates when the show is torn to ribbons by the critics, because this means they're at long last free to take better jobs back on Broadway. What does this tell me? That Sid Bernstein has been blackmailing every member of the company onto working on this show. Even your dancers?
Okay, so when I was starting out, Sid Bernstein tried to make my audition a private one, but I walked away.
But what about your chorus boys? You all seem like clean-cut fellows. I mean, what could all of you have possibly done that you wouldn't want the folks back home to know?
Lieutenant, I have to think that most people have something about themselves they'd like to keep to themselves.
Agreed. But I'm not here to uncover all your dark secrets. Only the one that caused someone to murder Jessica Cranshaw.
People, I had no idea this was how Sydney got you all to work so cheap. He's the one that handles the negotiations.
Well, he won't be able to deal his way out of breaking the law. Ladies and gentlemen, you won't be blackmailed anymore. But you're still murder suspects. Now get to work. You may have joined this show for the wrong reasons, but you're gonna press on because you have a contract.
And don't forget it.
And Oscar deserves a return on his investment.
Thank you.
And because the best way for me to solve Jessica Cranshaw's murder is to keep the heat turned up in this pressure cooker of the theater. And lastly, because this could be a really good show. Take it, Chris.
Very good. So, company.
Heads up, we're striking the set.
What? No, Johnny, I'm not finished. I still have yet to fix our pose.
Sorry.
Never mind. Let's have the last 4 bars. Bobby?
5, 6, 7, 8.
I'm heading that
way. Why is there no curtain?
We're having a little trouble with it.
Well, I want it closed. Now.
Close the curtain.
Did you see something go up as the curtain closed?
Oh no! Johnny! Open the curtain! Quick!
Curtain!
No! Close the curtain!
Curtain!
No! Open the curtain!
Curtain! I think we fixed the curtain.
You better make it a blackout!